Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna do a story time, and yeah, let's get right into it. So, around the age of, I want to say 12, it was a normal day, and I don't exactly remember why my parents got into it this day, but they got into it bad. And my mom, she somehow we ended up getting out the house, and my dad followed her in the van, and she was in the truck, and he had blocked us in, so there was no way she could go. In order for her to go, he had to move. So he was like, are you gonna follow me back to the house or whatever? And she's like, yeah. And then he moved the van, and then she took off and hit the freeway. And I remember us ending up in the Walmart parking lot in Dearborn. And she's like, I'm just gonna run in real quick. So it was me, it was a baby in a car seat. So that had to be mm, my fourth or my fifth. I think it was my fourth, my fourth sister. And she was in the car seat, she was crying. And then I got three younger siblings in the back. So at the time, so yeah, I have two younger siblings. Three, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it was five of us. So I had three younger siblings in the back. They were around toddlers' ages. Um, and then I had the baby in the car seat. And my mom was like, I'm gonna run in. And it was a hot summer day. So I remember waiting and waiting and waiting. And then my baby sibling that was in the car seat just started crying and would not stop, was crying and crying and crying and crying. So, and I noticed the baby, my sister, she was sweating. So I took some wipes out of her diaper bag and was wiping her down. I checked her diaper. Her diaper was good. And I was just like rocking the car seat. Now, around this time, I had very bad anxiety with being left in the truck. That's another, or being left in the car. I had super bad anxiety. I didn't even know what anxiety was, but now that I'm older, I just know I was scared. I hated being left in the truck by myself or with my siblings. I hated it. That's a story time for another day. So I'm rocking the baby. I'm trying to soothe the baby. Then the three in the back started crying. So I'm looking for my phone. I called my mom. My mom left her phone in the truck. This was something I hated that she did. She would leave her phone in the truck. And I was like, okay, it's been a while. It felt like she was in there forever, but I'm sure she wasn't even in there for that long. But I was like, I started panicking because the baby wouldn't stop crying. The other three, they're moving around, they're crying, whining, and fussing. So I called my father. I was like, Dad, Mom is in the store. The baby's gonna stop crying. What can I do? And he was like, tell me where you are. And I told him where we was, and I opened the truck. And I remember looking into the parking lot to tell him what number um, that we was in, which aisle or whatever that we was in the Walmart parking lot. And he was like, until I get there, just open and close the door. We wasn't too far away from the house. We was maybe like, the Walmart was probably maybe like 15, 13 minutes away. So he was like, just open and close the door. Mind you, I'm 12 years old. I'm scared. I'm like either 11 or 12. And he was like, he didn't even tell me to open and close the door. I did that. He said, leave the door open so y'all get air. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, I am not leaving the door open. There's people looking at us. I'm young, I'm small, and I don't want people to call, you know, the police, or I don't want people trying to snatch me out the car or something. So I was just opening and closing the truck door. I would leave it open for like literally 20 seconds, and then I'll close the door back. And the babies started to calm down a little bit. And then next thing I knew, my father pulling up in that big van. And he got us all out the van, And who is coming out of Walmart? My mom is coming out of Walmart, and she had a bunch of bags and stuff in her hand. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what did I do? I should have waited longer. Did I just mess up? Am I gonna get in trouble? And we were in my dad's van, and I remember my mom started following him, and he got out the van, and I remember him telling my mom, I would bash your fucking head in. And I was just like, you know, I was like, whoa. But I was so used to vulgar words, or I was used to that type of talk, that I was like, wow. But I end up just sitting back down. Like, I was used to those types of words coming out of his mouth. And I was just really waiting to see what was going to happen next. I didn't know if we were going to go home. I didn't know if my mom was just going to chase him back. So, boom. We end up going back to the house. My dad goes upstairs. Now, in my house, we had wood on the front door to give the door extra security. So it wasn't no you could just turn the key and come in the house. We can put wood on it to keep the door closed. So you got the 2 doors to lock it, and then there's wood on there. You have to lift the wood in order to get in the house, or someone has to lift the wood up off the door. So my dad put the wood on the door, and my mom, I noticed she was pulling up in front of the house. My dad took my younger siblings upstairs, and I went downstairs, and the second oldest, who I'm 4 years older than, she followed me downstairs, and we was getting our shoes. But when I was getting my shoes, I saw my mom at the window, and she opened the window, and she said, come here, come here. And she pulled us through the window and took us with her to one of my aunt's house. I didn't have no socks on, no shoes, and that's all I remember from that story time. And those were just one of the regular days in my life. Like, occasions like that was normal. Yeah. So, if you all would like more story times, let me know in the comments down below. And I have so many stories. I'm gonna probably start a series. I have so many stories, it's not even funny. And I know y'all see me like smiling and laughing while I'm telling the story. That's just how I am. When I'm talking about certain traumatic situations, you will see me smiling and laughing. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.